In my last video, I decided to have a little bit of a crash out and try my best to sort of do a fancy apology for somebody who is very important to me and very special to me. Unfortunately, the apology probably might have fell flat, and I was also in a lot of physical pain while I was doing that, and you can sort of tell at the end of the video because obviously I didn't finish the song. In any case, for the past month, I've had a toothache, and the toothache has been really bad. But I've been trying my best to just sort of just sort of like power through it, right? Because like I don't like going to a doctor, I don't like going to a dentist, I don't like going to any healthcare physician or whatever because I ain't got insurance. Everything is gonna cost like $500,000, whatever. But this pain that I've been undergoing through has been so wild, just so unbearable that I decided to go over to the dentist. There's the dentist like down the street from me. I went over there and I just said, you know what? Let's just see how this goes, right? I go over to the dentist. I just get my teeth looked at. Nothing operated on, nothing done, nothing specifically like done up or anything like that. I'm just going over, getting my teeth looked at, right? Also, by the way, just complete different side note here. Everybody in this facility is like beautiful. I'm talking about just like this is if it definitely felt like I was walking into a TV show rather than like a dentist office because everybody is just hot, right? So here I am looking like how I normally look. I did wear this shirt, and like I say, we were talking, and all of a sudden, and it's like they looked at my teeth. They told me everything I might have to get done, um, and I got the bill, and it is $8,000 to get my teeth like fixed up, the works. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, my teeth are in really bad shape. I'm assuming, but like in order for me to get that look, in order for me to get it all like worked out, $8,000. That's a used car. I really wish that like whoever's in I really wish that the world sort of understood exactly how miserable and how terrible everything looks when you're poor in America. Because of the fact that it's like that's $8,000. I don't have $8,000. I will probably never have $8,000. Okay, I had the most money I think I ever had saved up in my life was probably like $3,000, and that was from years of working. Okay, but it's like this is for something that I need done because if my teeth get in really bad shape, if my teeth just start getting like in worse shape than they're currently in, because they're in bad shape right now from what they told me. But it's like obviously they're not off. It's not like they're falling out, but it's not that they're falling out, but they're still in pretty bad shape. But the fact of the matter is that like this is something that I need done because if my teeth are bad, then I can't eat, and if I can't eat, I starve to death. You know what I'm saying? It's like, well, blend your food from now on. It's like going, yeah, okay, whatever. Yeah, okay, whatever. Yeah, I'm just gonna totally like give myself spaghetti slushy. But the fact of the matter is that like this is something that I need done. This is a medical procedure that I need done for the sake of my further survival. And that's $8,000. $8,000 that I'm probably just never gonna have, by the way. Obviously not up front, obviously through a payment plan and through some offering. So it's like it's gonna be another bill that I have to pay on my life. I already got to pay for this car. I already got to pay for the car. I already got to pay for this apartment. I already got to pay off my credit card debt. I already got to pay off my college debt. I already got all of these things that I have to pay for. I already have all these things I have to pay for, and I know it looks like I know I look like I'm not living. I'm living in the opposite of squalor here. But the fact of the matter is that all this that I have, all this very little that I have, is ridiculously expensive. If I get fired from my job right now, I don't have this unfurnished apartment that I am currently in. I won't even have this anymore. If I get fired from my job or if something goes wrong, I won't even have this anymore. Do you kind of understand what's happening right now? And this is for stuff that I need. Okay? I need shelter. I need transportation. I need health care. This isn't even for stuff that I want. You know what I want to do? You know what I want to do? Very simple. One thing I've always wanted to do. One thing I've always wanted to do when I was younger. I used to like, obviously watching a lot of television. I used to see these cool little nightclubs where people would just go to, listen to some techno music and just dance. And maybe there's some cool lights and some I would love to go to like a rave club, a rave nightclub. Because, just be able to go into a dark room and just, have a good time. You know what I'm saying? Now, people would probably, make fun of me for that. But that's always been something I've always been interested in. I did get a chance to go to a couple of raves at anime conventions. But it's just the sheer fact that I've always wanted to go to a club and do that. Not have to wait for an anime convention to do that. Just have a club that I can go to and listen to some techno music, or whatever, and just dance. Maybe just sit down and just be for a little bit. Well, they probably might have something like that nearby, but they don't. You know how expensive life is for poor people? Nearby is the next town over. A 15-minute drive. And when you're poor, that's gas. Because you got to remember, you got to multiply the gas. You have to multiply the trip by 2 because you're going to where you need to go to and you're coming back. And that's not even counting possible stops that you might have to take. That's gas. All the fun stuff is in the big city. An hour away. Once again, I got to drive an hour to get there. Then you got to drive all the way back. And that's not even counting all the stuff that you might have to pay for on the way there. Because the big city has also got toll roads that I'm probably going to try to avoid. But you probably won't be able to avoid all the toll roads because there's going to be some toll roads you're just going to ultimately have to go through. Or the sneaky toll roads. You know what I'm saying? All I'm saying is that these are things that these are just basic microtransactions in this video game called life that I have to pay for. And it's already monstrously expensive. It's monstrously expensive for me to live in an unfurnished apartment. In an unfurnished apartment that I'm always 2 months away from losing should I ever lose my job. And all I want to do is just one of the few things I want to do is just maybe go to the big city and just go to a nightclub and just dance. That's it. Or, and this is an even crazier one. You ready for this one? This is another thing I want to do. You ready for this? This is gonna blow your mind. I want to do nothing. I also want to do nothing. I want the freedom to be able to just sit in the house all day, all month, and just play a video game. And not have to worry about possibly losing my apartment. Just sit in a month and just that's it. Because I never had the freedom. I never been able to do that. I've always had to go to work. My entire life, for more than half of my life, I always had to go to work. I spent more time in my life working a job that I did not want to work. If I'm being honest, I spend more time working and also working at these jobs and making very little pay and having to survive off of that very little pay. I need y'all to understand specifically what this all translates to. After I get done paying all of my bills, as far back as I can remember, after I get done paying all of my bills, all of my expenses, car payment, rent, car insurance, car note, and all and college tuition and all these other stupid things, all these other stupid little microtransactions. After I get done paying all of that, I have $20. $20. Okay? Do y'all know what $20 is? $20. I have $20 throughout the week. And that's if I get hungry. So it's I gotta find a way to, for a whole week, survive off of $20, but at least, everything is paid off for the month, So now I have to find a way to access the insurance that my job offers me. Because if I can't find a way to access the insurance that my job offers me, then I have to pay $8,000 to make sure that my teeth doesn't fall out of my face. With $20. After paying all of my expenses. The world is a ridiculously expensive place, and it's just nothing short of this crushing weight of just knowing that I try my best to do everything right, and I just keep getting told you're not doing much. You're not verbing adverb enough. You're not xing y enough. You're not doing this enough. I'm not smart enough to graduate college. Okay? I don't have enough money to just go to vocational school because vocational school costs money. People say get your CDL. That stuff costs money, and I also can't stay awake that long to drive a truck. But I shouldn't have to do that. The thing that's really kind of making me so angry about all of this is that like the job that I have should be able to pay me enough to survive off of. And the sad part is that like it does. I'm currently making the most money I think I've ever made the entire time I've been working, and it's still not enough because prices just keep going up. So it's like, it really just feels like I'm back in the same rut that I was in 10 years ago. It's like all of the stuff that I've been trying to do to get myself out of the situation that I was in for like the past decade, if not longer, I'm still there because of the fact that everything just keeps going up. Everything just keeps going up. It's like the pay keeps going up, but the everything else keeps going up too. Why is a Big Mac why is something that used to cost, why is fast food that used to cost $2, $3, $4 back in the day at the most now costing about $7 or $8 or $9 or $10 now? It's the same fast food. If you lived a decade ago and you ate fast food a decade ago, tell me the difference. Tell me the difference. A Big Mac 10 years ago versus a Big Mac today. If you ate a Big Mac 10 years ago, think about that real quick. What's the difference between a Big Mac 10 years ago and a Big Mac today? Besides the price, right? Well, I don't eat Big Macs. Well, anything. Why does stuff have to be more expensive now than they were back then? It's the same thing. Well, value and worth. $8,000, bro. $8,000 just to make sure that my teeth don't fall out. I mean, granted, thankfully, there's a possibility that my teeth probably won't fall out. I don't know for sure. But the fact of the matter is that, like, it's just one of those things that I just have to consistently just think about, you know? It's like things just keep getting more and more expensive. So it's like, once again, I'm making, like, there's going to be a great chance that somewhere down the line, you might end up getting $1 million from working at a regular job. Because a stick of gum is going to cost $1,000. Just think about that. Like, it's crazy. I can never be a capitalist because it just feels like no matter what you do to get yourself out of the rut, you're still going to be in the rut. $1 million is not a lot of money anymore. When you were a millionaire back in the day, you were considered like the cream of the crop, the tippity top. Now, $1 billion is a lifetime supply of money, but the richest dude in the world has $1 trillion. Can we just like understand this for a second? The world is expensive, and all I want to do is get my teeth fixed, and I am going to probably be spent. If I can't access my insurance, I'm going to have to like $8,000. That's the estimate. I can't grasp this concept here. Like, everything is expensive, and now it's like what's even more crazy is that there's gonna probably be a user on here on the internet who's just gonna be like, sounds like a skill issue, loser. Because like there's clearly some people out here who live off of their rich parents' money and just don't understand how the real world works for real people because they live in a universe where, like, because when you're rich and when you're poor, it's literally two different planets. To put this in perspective, I can't even go, $8,000 to get my teeth fixed. And all I want to do is just veg out all day. And I can't even do that. I have to work. I can't go party at the club. I have to work for money that is going to probably just get sapped anyway. It feels like a cycle of just nothing. It just feels like a ridiculous cycle of just financial anguish. And I'm tired. I am so tired. I am very, very, very tired. I'm tired and I'm in pain. That's a bad combination, man. Why does everything got to be expensive though? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Like some races is just gonna be like, well, everything needs to be expensive because of value and blah 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 value. I don't believe in value anymore. Whenever I hear the word value, the words that pop up in my head is rich guy's feelings. Or poor guy who think a rich guy feels a way about something. It's all emotion crap to me. I can't validate how my like that's a huge number, man. And and here's the thing, that's just an estimate. That's not what it's actually going to be, but that's like that's the number that they picked up. $8,000. That's the number that they picked up from what I need to be done to my teeth. Just like the world, this is what the world looks like to a poor person. Everything is expensive. Everything is expensive, so we can't do anything. Well, I can't do anything. I'm not gonna say we. I don't know. Other poor people probably might got they stuff together, but I don't. I don't. I'm just tired of living in a nation where I'm being punished for just like not being a college graduate. I'm tired of living in a nation where I'm being punished for being born black or being born male or being born not that smart or being born poor. I'm tired of being punished for circumstances that I have absolutely no control over. And in the process of me trying to have control over the circumstances that I have, everything just keeps getting worse for me. I can accept the fact that I am responsible for the bad things that happen to me in my life, but I'm very, very, very annoyed with the fact that I try my best to do the right thing and try to do good for myself, and all I get is punched in the mouth for it. It's like, what's the point? That's a big number, man. Oh, well, on the good foot, at least I'm physically unattractive enough to never have children. So at least whatever misery that I have to undergo for the rest of my existence won't continue. When I die, that's it. My kids are spared, you know? So one good thing I got going. Love and peace, y'all. Be good to each other. We all we got.